Seeds hold a profound truth that few people understand. Two seeds lie in the soil, both containing the same potential, both given the same nutrients, both blessed with the same opportunity to grow. But only one will become the mighty tree it was destined to be. Why? Because one seed believes in shortcuts, while the other believes in effort. I'm driven by a burning message today, a message that will transform how you see success, achievement, and the journey of life itself. In a world obsessed with quick fixes and easy answers, I stand before you with a revolutionary truth. Effort isn't just a path to success. Effort is the only shortcut that exists. Just last month, I sat with a young man in Nassau. For 15 years, he chased shortcuts like a mirage in the desert. Cryptocurrency schemes, pyramid marketing, gambling. He tried them all, always believing the next one would be his ticket to instant success. With tears in his eyes, he said something that broke my heart. I've wasted 15 years searching for shortcuts. If I had just built one solid business from the beginning, I would be far ahead today. This is why this message burns in my spirit. Because what I'm sharing isn't just about motivation, it's about transformation. It's about understanding a fundamental principle of life that nobody talks about. The principle that effort itself is the shortcut. Some of you might be shifting in your seats right now, thinking, how can effort be a shortcut? That doesn't make sense, but wait. This understanding will revolutionize everything about how you approach your goals, your dreams, your very purpose. Look at water. Nature's most persistent force. When water meets a mountain, it doesn't search for an easy way around. It doesn't attend seminars on how to avoid the mountain water. It does something remarkable. It commits to consistent effort, drop by drop, day after day, year after year. It carves its path through solid rock. That's not just persistence. That's the power of understanding that focused effort is the fastest way to any destination. I'm standing here today with a different kind of message. Not another feel-good speech that evaporates with tomorrow's sunrise. I'm here to plant a seed of transformation that will grow into a forest of achievement. Because once you grasp this principle, once it becomes part of your DNA, you'll never waste another moment looking for shortcuts again. While everyone is waiting for the elevator to success, the stairs remain empty. But here's the irony. By the time they find their elevator, the person who took the stairs is already at the top. Why? Because they understood that effort isn't the long way. Effort is the shortcut. Why every moment spent searching for shortcuts is actually taking you the longest way around. Because understanding this truth, really understanding it, will revolutionize not just what you do, but who you become in the process. Everywhere you turn today, someone's selling a shortcut. Lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, get rich overnight. Learn a language while you sleep. Our society has become addicted to the fantasy of instant results. And it's destroying the very essence of what makes us successful human beings. The other day, I watched something fascinating at the airport. A long line had formed at the escalator. People standing there waiting to be carried up. Right next to it was an empty staircase for 15 minutes. I observed as people waited in line for the escalator while the stairs. The immediate solution dot stood completely empty. That's exactly what's happening in our lives. We're all waiting in line for an escalator that might not even work. When the stairs. The path of effort.is right there, ready to take us where we want to go. Every time you choose a shortcut, you're not just avoiding effort. You're avoiding growth. You're avoiding becoming the person capable of achieving what you desire. When you try to skip the process, you skip the transformation. I remember walking into my friend's office in the Bahamas. He was a successful businessman. Also, everyone thought He had all the trappings of success, the fancy car, the big house, the designer suits, but he was drowning in debt because he had borrowed everything to maintain an image of success. He took every shortcut possible to appear successful without doing the work to become successful. Today, he's lost it all. Why? Because shortcuts are like building a house without a foundation. It might look good for a while, but it will never last. The price of avoiding effort is far greater than the price of embracing it. When you avoid effort, you're not just avoiding work, you're avoiding wisdom, you're avoiding the lessons that come only through experience. You're avoiding the strength that comes only through struggle. You're avoiding the confidence that comes only through competence. Look at any field of human achievement. Show me one Olympic athlete who found a shortcut to gold. Show me one master musician who found a way to greatness without practicing. Show me one successful business that was built overnight. They don't exist. Yet we keep believing we'll be the exception, that somehow we'll find the magical shortcut that everyone else missed. I met a young entrepreneur last year who spent $50,000 on a business in a box program. The advertisement promised immediate success, no experience needed, no effort required, just plug and play. 1 year later, he had lost not just his money, but also precious time he could have spent building a real business. The shortcut became the longest road possible. Life operates on principles. Just like gravity doesn't care about your opinions or feelings, it simply works according to laws. Success operates the same way. The principle of effort isn't a suggestion. It's a law. Every shortcut you take creates a longer journey to your destination. While you're looking for shortcuts, someone else is putting in the effort. While you're trying to hack the system, someone else is building strength through struggle. While you're searching for the easy way, someone else is embracing the right way. Every bit of real effort you put in today doesn't just move you forward. It builds your capacity to go even further tomorrow. That's something no shortcut can ever give you. That's why understanding this principle isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming the kind of person who achieves goals naturally. Most people think they understand effort, but what they're actually doing is just moving around. There's a profound difference between being busy and being productive, between motion and progress, between activity and achievement. Let me break this down for you in a way that will transform how you see effort forever. True effort is like an archer pulling back their bow. The further back they pull, the more potential energy they create, the further the arrow will fly. But here's what most people don't understand. They confuse the act of holding the bow with the act of pulling it back. They confuse being busy with making progress. I watched a man in my gym for 6 months. Every day he would come in, move from machine to machine, spend 2 hours there. He looked busy, he was sweating, but his body never changed. One day, I asked him about his workout plan. His response, I just make sure I spend time here every day, you see. He was confusing motion with progress. He was present, but he wasn't applying true effort. True effort has 3 components that most people miss completely. First, it's intentional. You're not just doing something, you're doing it with purpose. Second, it's progressive. You're not just repeating the same thing. You're pushing your boundaries. Third, it's consistent. You're not just working hard sometimes. You're maintaining that intensity over time. The psychology of sustained commitment is what separates those who succeed from those who merely try. Your mind must be convinced before your body can achieve. This isn't about motivation. Motivation is emotional, and emotions are temporary. This is about commitment, a decision you make once and then act on every day. In my early days, I tried to write a book for months. I sat at my desk every morning, staring at the blank page. I was showing up. I was present, but I wasn't making progress. Then one day I realized I was focusing on the act of writing instead of the act of creating. I was focusing on motion instead of progress. When I shifted my focus to actually producing content, to pushing through the resistance, everything changed. Progress leaves evidence. Motion just leaves you tired. When you're applying true effort, there should be tangible results. Not always immediate, but always inevitable. It's like water hitting a rock. Each drop might not seem to do much, but given enough time and consistent effort, that water will cut through solid stone. The difference between motion and progress is like the difference between a rocking chair and a car. Both are moving, but only one is getting somewhere. True effort moves you forward, changes your position, transforms your reality. Motion just keeps you busy while you stay in the same place. This understanding of true effort changes everything. It changes how you approach your goals, how you measure your progress, how you structure your days. When you understand this principle, you stop confusing activity with achievement. You stop mistaking movement for progress. Once you understand the nature of true effort, you start seeing opportunities for progress everywhere. You begin to recognize the difference between actions that move you forward and actions that just keep you busy. You start making different choices, better choices. Choices that align with your goals rather than just filling your time. There's a profound principle at work in the universe that never fails. Whatever you plant is exactly what you'll harvest. It's not a suggestion, it's not a guideline. It's an absolute law that governs every aspect of success and achievement in our lives. When a farmer plants a seed, he can't negotiate with the soil about when it should grow. He can't demand the harvest appear overnight. He can't skip the growing season and jump straight to the results. The process of growth follows unchangeable principles. I learned this lesson in a way that transformed my entire understanding of success. Years ago, I decided to master public speaking. Like many people, I wanted instant results. I would watch great speakers and think, I just need to copy what they do, but something fascinating happened. The more I tried to rush the process, the more inauthentic I became. Then one day, it hit me like a lightning bolt. Just as a seed needs time in the darkness of the soil before it breaks through to the light. Skills need time in the darkness of practice before they break through to mastery. I started treating every small speaking opportunity like a seed I was planting. School meetings, community gatherings. Anywhere I could speak, I planted these seeds of effort. The compound effect of consistent effort is like compound interest in a bank account. At first, it seems like nothing is happening. But underneath the surface, something magnificent is taking place. Every time you apply effort, you're not just adding to your skills, you're multiplying them. I remember speaking to an audience of just 3 people. Most would see that as insignificant. But I understood the law of sowing and reaping. I gave that talk everything I had because I knew something most people don't understand. The size of your current audience doesn't determine the size of your future impact. The size of your effort does. When you understand this principle, you stop asking, when will I see results, and start asking, what am I planting today? Every action you take is a seed. Every effort you make is planting something. The question is not whether you'll get a harvest. The question is, what kind of harvest are you planting for? This is why people who understand this principle don't get discouraged by small beginnings. They understand that every mighty oak tree started as a tiny acorn that was willing to be planted in the dark. They understand that success is not about what you can get quickly. It's about what you can grow consistently. Everything in your life right now is a harvest from seeds you planted in the past. Your relationships, your skills, your achievements, they're all growing from seeds you planted yesterday, last month, or last year. And everything you'll have in the future is growing from the seeds you're planting today. Success is a three-dimensional process that engages your mind, your body, and your spirit in perfect synchronization. Imagine an Olympic diver standing on the platform. Before they even move a muscle, there's an entire universe of preparation happening inside their mind. This is where every great achievement begins. In the theater of your mind. Mental preparation is like tuning an instrument before a concert. You can't play beautiful music with an out-of-tune instrument, and you can't achieve meaningful success with an unprepared mind. Your mind must first conceive what your hands will achieve. This isn't positive thinking. This is strategic thinking. I remember working with a young athlete who had all the physical tools but couldn't break through to the next level. His body was ready, but his mind was cluttered with doubt. We started working on mental preparation. Not just visualization, but deep mental rehearsal. Within 6 months, he had transformed not just his performance, but his entire approach to achievement. The physical execution of effort is where most people focus. But here's what they miss. Physical action without mental preparation is like trying to drive a car without knowing your destination. Every physical action must be purposeful, deliberate, and aligned with your mental blueprint. Emotional resilience is the bridge between your mental preparation and physical execution. You see, between every goal and its achievement lies a gap. That gap is filled with disappointment, frustration, and temporary failure. Your emotional resilience is what carries you across that gap. I've seen countless people with brilliant plans and strong bodies fail because they couldn't handle the emotional weight of the journey. They had the map, they had the vehicle, but they didn't have the fuel, emotional resilience. This is why we must train our emotions just like we train our bodies and minds. A time when you faced a significant setback, what stopped you from giving up? That forced out that internal strength that kept you going. That's emotional resilience. It's not about not feeling discouraged. It's about continuing despite the discouragement. Your emotional capacity is like a muscle. It grows stronger through resistance. Every time you push through disappointment. Every time you stand up after falling. Every time you continue despite feeling like stopping. You're building this crucial component of success. The beauty of understanding these three dimensions of effort is that it allows you to diagnose where you might be falling short. Are you physically active but mentally unprepared? Are you mentally ready but emotionally vulnerable? Success requires alignment of all three elements. Remember, every great achievement in human history followed this pattern. Mental preparation, physical execution, and emotional resilience working together in perfect harmony. As we move forward, you'll learn how to master each dimension and bring them together in your own journey to success. There's a secret in nature that most people never discover. Success doesn't happen in giant leaps. It happens in tiny steps that build unstoppable momentum. I want to share with you the power of progressive effort. Because once you understand this principle, everything in your life will begin to accelerate. The bamboo tree, one of nature's most remarkable teachers. For 4 years after planting, you see nothing above the ground, nothing. Just dirt. Most people would give up, thinking their efforts were wasted. But in the 5th year, something miraculous happens. The bamboo shoot breaks through and grows up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Was it a sudden growth spurt? No. For those 4 years, the bamboo was building an elaborate root system that would support its magnificent growth. This is the essence of progressive effort. Understanding that while you may not see immediate results, every effort you make is building a foundation for explosive growth. Every small step you take is creating momentum, even when you can't see it yet. I remember when I first started developing my speaking abilities, the progress was so slow, it was almost invisible. Every day, I would practice in front of my mirror, recording myself, studying my delivery. For months, it seemed like nothing was changing, but I kept pushing, kept refining, kept building momentum through consistent, progressive effort. Then one day, something clicked. It wasn't sudden. It was the accumulation of thousands of tiny improvements. My voice had developed a natural authority. My message flowed effortlessly. The principles I had practiced so diligently had become part of my natural expression. That's when I understood. Momentum isn't built in days. It's built in moments. Most people fail not because they can't do great things, but because they can't do small things consistently. They want to jump straight to the 90-foot bamboo without developing the root system. But that's not how real growth works. Real growth follows the principle of incremental progression. Water beginning to boil. For a long time, nothing seems to happen. The temperature rises degree by degree, 80 degrees. 90 degrees, 95 degrees, no visible change. Then suddenly, at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, everything transforms. The water begins to boil. But was it sudden? No. Every degree of temperature increase was necessary to reach that transformation point. Your effort works the same way. Every small improvement, every tiny step forward is building toward your boiling point. You might be at 200 degrees right now, just 12 degrees away from a breakthrough. But if you stop, you'll never reach transformation. This understanding transformed how I approached every goal in my life. I stopped looking for big wins and started celebrating small victories, because I understood that small victories, accumulated consistently, create unstoppable momentum. The power of progressive effort lies in its compound effect. Just like compound interest in finance, compound effort in personal growth creates exponential returns. Every small improvement builds on every previous improvement, creating a spiral of growth that becomes unstoppable. Everything we've discussed about effort being the only true shortcut comes down to what you decide to do in this moment. And in all the moments that follow, understanding a principle is only the beginning. Knowledge without action is like having a map but never starting the journey. So right now, I want to give you something powerful, a way to transform everything we've discussed into real, tangible results in your life. First, you must make what I call your declaration of effort. This isn't a promise to others. It's a commitment to yourself. Take out your phone right now, open your notes, and write down these words. From this moment forward, I embrace effort as my path to success. I reject the illusion of shortcuts. But declarations without action are just words floating in the wind. So here's what you're going to do next. Identify one goal, one dream that you've been postponing because you were looking for an easier way. Write it down. Now, break it down into the smallest possible action you can take today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. The challenge I'm giving you for the next 90 days. Commit to taking one small action every single day toward that goal. No exceptions, no excuses. Remember the bamboo tree. For 90 days, you're building your root system, even if you don't see results above the surface. Trust the process. You might be thinking, 90 days is a long time, but let me tell you something profound. Those 90 days are going to pass whether you take action or not. The only question is, do you want to be 90 days closer to your dreams? Or 90 days older with the same unfulfilled desires? Every person who has ever achieved anything significant started exactly where you are right now. They had the same doubts, the same fears, the same temptation to wait for an easier way. The only difference between them and those who never achieve their dreams is one simple decision. The decision to embrace effort as their path to success. Your life is a story being written with every decision you make. From this moment forward, let it be a story of purposeful effort, of meaningful progress, of unstoppable momentum. Let it be a story that inspires others to embrace their own journey of effort. Remember, effort isn't just what you do. It's who you become in the process. Every time you choose the path of effort over the illusion of shortcuts, you're not just moving closer to your goals. You're becoming the person capable of achieving those goals. The world is waiting for your contribution, waiting for your greatness to emerge. But it will only emerge through effort. Not tomorrow's effort, not today's effort. Not someone else's effort, not your effort. Stand up right now. Feel the power of this moment. This is your turning point. This is where your story of transformation begins. This is where you stop waiting for shortcuts and start embracing the power of purposeful effort. Go forward from this place with the understanding that every effort you make is creating your future. Every step you take is building your legacy. Every moment of focused effort is transforming you into the person you were born to be. The time for waiting is over. The time for shortcuts is past. This is your moment. Take it, own it, transform it through the power of purposeful effort. Your future self will thank you for the decision you made today. Now, go forth and make your mark on the world. One effort at a time, one day at a time, one achievement at a time. Your time is now.